Mira had waited for weeks. The day had finally come when the shipment from the Earth Tech Consortium arrived at her home on planet Solara. She had ordered the newest model of levitating furniture. Couch set designed to float slightly above the ground using microgravity stabilizers. It was not only beautiful, but also a symbol of human ingenuity. A combination of comfort, technology, and design that no other planet colony had seen. Myra's heart raced as the delivery drone hovered in front of her home, gently lowering the crate to her porch. The crate was sleek and metallic, with blue lights that pulsed softly as if it were alive. Mira carefully opened the hatch, revealing the components inside. Each piece of the couch was labeled with holographic instructions that floated above the parts, showing exactly where each piece should go. She admired the craftsmanship. The cushions were filled with a new kind of adaptive material that could automatically adjust to a person's posture. The frames had built-in anti-gravity modules, and tiny drones were embedded inside the couch to ensure smooth floating. It was more than just furniture. It was a piece of human ingenuity brought to life. Mira worked carefully, following the holographic guide. She felt a quiet thrill as each part clicked into place. When the assembly was complete, she stepped back to admire the couch. It hovered a few inches above the floor, glowing softly with an internal light that reflected the colors of her living room. She sat down, and the couch gently adjusted to her weight, wrapping her in perfect comfort. Mira smiled. This was exactly what she had imagined, but she knew that the couch was not just hers to enjoy. It was also a statement. Humans had colonized Solara less than 20 years ago, and the colonies were still struggling to show their technological capabilities. Every invention, every new design, was a reminder that humans could innovate and thrive. Even far from Earth, Mira's couch was a symbol of that human creativity and resilience. The next morning, Mira enjoyed her breakfast while watching the twin suns rise over the plains outside her window. Birds with metallic feathers flew past, a result of bioengineering experiments in nearby habitats. Mira sipped her coffee and thought about how lucky she was. Her work as a systems engineer allowed her to explore the frontiers of technology, and now she had a creation of her own to enjoy. She had built more than just a home. She had built a small sanctuary where human ingenuity could shine. Her peace, however, did not last long. That afternoon, a neighbor arrived. Vera was known throughout the settlement for her loud opinions and strong personality. She walked up Myra's porch without knocking and stopped in front of the floating couch. Her eyes widened as she took in the sight. "Is that floating?" Vera asked, pointing at the couch. "It's amazing, Mira. Where did you get it?" Mira smiled politely. "It's the new model from Earth Tech Consortium. I ordered it last month. It's fully customized for my home's environment." Vera leaned closer, peering at the couch as if she were trying to take it apart with her eyes. "It looks too advanced for one household. Don't you think it should be shared with others? It could help many people here. Maybe you should consider donating it." Mira raised an eyebrow. "Donating it? This is my personal property. I worked hard to get it. But it is also useful, yes. It can carry heavy items, help with posture, and even assist in lifting supplies." Vera waved her hand dismissively. "That's not what I mean. I mean, why should one person have all the luxury? Others need it more. People like me could use it for many things." Mira tried to remain calm. She had faced many challenges before, but she had never encountered anyone who wanted to claim her personal belongings in this way. "Vera, I understand your point, but this couch is designed for my home and lifestyle. It's not just a luxury item. It's a tool that suits my work and health needs." Vera crossed her arms and gave Mira a determined look. "I think you should reconsider. Sometimes humans need to think about the community first." Mira nodded slowly, realizing that this situation would not resolve itself through words alone. She needed to find a way to protect her creation, but she did not want conflict. Humans, after all, were capable of solving problems with creativity and intelligence. She looked at the couch, and an idea began to form in her mind. Over the next few days, Mira experimented with the couch's internal drones. She programmed them to detect movement near the couch and emit soft warning signals when anyone approached too closely. The drones were gentle. They did not harm, but they communicated that the area around the couch was private. Mira also created holographic displays that could explain the couch's functions to visitors in case anyone was curious. She wanted to show the neighbors that humans could solve disputes peacefully and intelligently. Vera, however, did not give up easily. She would often stop by watching Mira from a distance, occasionally asking questions in a tone that sounded polite but was clearly probing for weaknesses. Myra noticed that Vera's visits were more frequent after the warnings, and holographic displays were active. It seemed that curiosity and determination were stronger than caution. One evening, Mira sat on the couch and reflected on human ingenuity. Humans had come to Solara to survive in a harsh environment, to adapt and thrive where no other species had ventured. She realized that her small conflict with Vera was a microcosm of that larger human struggle. It was about creating, protecting, and sharing intelligently. Mira smiled to herself, thinking about how the next step could turn this tension into an opportunity. She began to plan a demonstration. If she could show Vera and the other neighbors that the couch was not just a luxury item, but a practical tool that improved life for everyone, perhaps she could turn the situation into a lesson of collaboration and human creativity. Mira worked late into the night adjusting the couch's settings, preparing displays, and testing drones. The couch could lift supplies, provide ergonomic support, and even assist in small construction tasks. The next morning, Mira invited her neighbors to see the demonstration. Vera was the first to arrive, curious and skeptical. Mira activated the couch, and the small drones lifted a stack of supplies from the porch to the roof, showing precise control and strength. Then the couch adjusted automatically to her posture as she leaned forward to pick up a tool, demonstrating adaptive support. Holographic screens displayed data about energy efficiency, weight distribution, and other technical details. Vera's eyes widened as she watched. It does all of that?" she asked, genuinely impressed. Mira nodded. "Yes, it is more than comfort. It is a tool. Humans design things not just for luxury, but for efficiency and problem-solving. This is a way we improve life in every colony." The other neighbors arrived, murmuring with amazement. They asked questions, touched the holograms, and interacted with the couch. Mira answered patiently, explaining each feature. She felt a sense of pride, not only in the couch, but in what it represented. Humans could create, adapt, and inspire. They could turn challenges into opportunities without conflict. By the end of the day, Vera looked at Mira differently. She was no longer just a persistent neighbor trying to claim someone else's property. She had seen human creativity in action. Mira realized that this was the beginning of something greater. The couch was more than furniture. It was a symbol of human resilience, intelligence, and ingenuity. And on Solara, where every new invention mattered, that was something worth protecting, sharing wisely, and celebrating. Mira smiled as the twin suns set, casting a golden glow over the floating couch. She knew that the days ahead would bring more challenges, more curiosity, and perhaps more conflicts. But she also knew that humans were capable of solving any problem, not with force or anger, but with cleverness, patience, and cooperation. The couch was hers, but it was also a reminder of what humans could achieve when they combined knowledge, creativity, and heart. The morning sun rose over the colony on planet Solara, casting long shadows across the smooth metal streets. Mira sipped her tea while sitting on her levitating couch, watching the light glint off its polished surface. The past few days had been peaceful. Her neighbors had seen the demonstration, and for a while it seemed they understood the value of her creation. Mira felt proud. Human ingenuity had not only created a marvel, but it also inspired curiosity and respect. That calm did not last. A soft tapping on her window drew her attention. She looked up to see Vera standing there with a small smile. Her eyes glimmered with determination. Mira invited her inside, curious about what Vera wanted this time. "I watched the demonstration yesterday," Vera said, stepping into the room. "It is impressive. Truly impressive. But I still think you should share it more. Maybe it should be used by the whole community, not just one person." Mira nodded slowly. I understand your point, Vera, but the couch is adapted to my home. It has microgravity stabilizers tuned for this room. Moving it elsewhere would be risky. It could lose balance, and the drones might not function correctly. Vera's expression did not change. I know, but maybe you could let me try it for a day. I could show others how useful it is, too. Myra paused, considering her options. She wanted to avoid conflict, but also knew that her creation needed to be respected. I cannot lend it, she said firmly. It is not just furniture. It is a tool, and moving it carelessly could damage it. I am willing to show you and others its functions, but it must stay here. Vera sighed but did not argue. She left with a polite nod, but Mira sensed that this was not the end. True to her intuition, Vera returned the next day with a small team of neighbors. They walked up to Mira's porch and gathered around the couch. Mira greeted them calmly and activated the drones to start another demonstration. This time, she showed them more than just lifting supplies or adjusting posture. The couch could carry water containers across the porch with precision. It could gently lift a human-sized crate and place it exactly on a rooftop ledge. It even projected a holographic map showing how energy from the room's solar panels was distributed to power the couch efficiently. Vera watched intently. It is incredible, she admitted. I have never seen anything like it. Amira smiled. It is the result of human ingenuity. Every part is designed for maximum efficiency, safety, and comfort. Humans face challenges in every new colony. We adapt. We create. This couch is an example of that process. The neighbors were impressed. They asked questions, touched the holograms, and even tested the weightlifting function with small supplies. Mira patiently explained every feature, emphasizing that technology was not just for luxury but for practical use in the colony. Vera, however, seemed unsettled. She lingered near the couch longer than anyone else. Mira noticed her studying the anti-gravity modules closely, tapping on the metal frames as if testing their durability. It was clear that Vera was not satisfied with a simple demonstration. She wanted to claim the couch for herself. Over the next few days, Mira prepared for more persistent visits. She programmed the couch drones to interact more actively with anyone approaching. When someone came too close without permission, the drones created soft, holographic barriers around the couch, alerting visitors politely but clearly. Mira also improved the holographic guide, showing every function in detail to avoid confusion or misuse. Vera returned several times, each visit longer than the last. She asked questions about the couch's power systems, its adaptive materials, and the drone coordination. Mira answered each question carefully, demonstrating patience and intelligence. She wanted Vera to understand that humans solve challenges through knowledge, creativity, and communication rather than force or argument. One afternoon, Mira noticed that Vera was attempting something new. She had brought a small hovering cart and tried to lift one of the couch's cushions with it. The couch drones immediately detected the interference. Soft lights flashed, and a gentle hum vibrated through the cushion, signaling that it was being moved without authorization. Vera froze, surprised by the couch's automated response. Mira approached calmly. The couch is designed to protect itself and maintain balance. Moving it incorrectly could damage the anti-gravity modules. Vera frowned. I just wanted to test it. It is so remarkable. I have never seen anything like this on any colony. Mira nodded. I understand. That is why I show the functions carefully. Humans innovate not only for comfort, but for efficiency, safety, and the benefit of the colony. It is important to respect these designs. Vera stepped back, clearly reconsidering her approach. She realized that Myra's patience and intelligence made any attempt to claim the couch without permission impossible. It was a clear lesson. Human creativity could protect what it created, not through strength, but through cleverness and foresight. That evening, Mira reflected on the situation. She realized that the couch was more than just a piece of furniture. It was a symbol of humanity's ability to adapt, innovate, and inspire. Humans had come to Solara with limited resources, yet they had built colonies, developed new technologies, and thrived in a challenging environment. Every new invention was a testament to human resilience. Mira decided to take the next step. Instead of simply defending the couch, she would invite Vera and the other neighbors to participate in a small project. She wanted them to see that humans did not hoard knowledge or tools selfishly. They shared innovation intelligently, creating solutions that benefited everyone. The next day, Mira set up an exercise. She asked Vera and 2 other neighbors to help remove supplies using the couch's drone system. Myra gave clear instructions explaining the process step by step. The neighbors followed her guidance carefully. The couch drones lifted the containers smoothly, adjusting to weight differences and distributing energy efficiently. Vera's eyes widened as she observed. "It is amazing. I did not realize technology could be used this way. I thought it was just a luxury, but it is actually very practical." Mira smiled. "That is the point. Humans innovate to solve problems. Technology is not just for comfort. It can help us carry supplies, protect our homes, and improve life for everyone in the colony. That is why it is important to understand, respect, and use it wisely." Over the next few weeks, Vera began to change. She still admired the couch, but she started asking questions about how it worked rather than how to claim it. Myra explained the anti-gravity stabilizers, the adaptive cushions, and the drone coordination system. Vera listened carefully, realizing that human ingenuity was not just about owning something but understanding, creating, and improving it. Myra also noticed that other neighbors began coming by, curious to see the technology. Some asked for advice on building their own systems, and Mira gladly shared her knowledge. The colony started to feel more connected. Humans were not just surviving on Solara. They were thriving through creativity, cooperation, and intelligence. One evening, Mira sat on the floating couch, watching the twin suns dip below the horizon. The light reflected on the polished surface, creating a soft glow throughout the room. She thought about how far humans had come. From small beginnings on Earth to thriving colonies across space, humanity had proven that ingenuity, patience, and cooperation could overcome any challenge. Vera knocked on the door again. This time, she smiled warmly. "Mira, I wanted to thank you. I understand now. Technology is not just about luxury or possession. It is about solving problems and helping the colony. I hope I can learn more from you." And Mira nodded. Of course. Humans learn by creating, observing, and sharing knowledge. That is how we grow. Technology is a tool, but understanding it is what truly matters. Vera left with a thoughtful expression. Mira realized that the conflict had become a lesson. Humans did not need to fight to protect what they created. They could use intelligence, creativity, and patience to demonstrate value and inspire understanding. The couch was safe, but more importantly, it had become a symbol of human resilience and ingenuity. As Mira settled into the couch, she thought about the future. There would be challenges, new technologies, and perhaps new conflicts, but humans were capable of facing them. With intelligence, creativity, and cooperation, there was no obstacle too great. The colony of Solara would continue to grow, thrive, and inspire, one small invention at a time. The colony of Solara hummed with activity as the twin suns rose, painting the plains in soft gold and rose tones. Mira sat on her levitating couch, sipping tea and reviewing the latest data from her home systems. Her recent experiences with Vera and the neighbors had shown her that curiosity could sometimes challenge property. But it also presented an opportunity to teach, inspire, and innovate. She realized the situation with the couch could become more than just a personal challenge. It could be a demonstration of human ingenuity in action. Mira decided to create a small project that involved the entire community. The goal was simple: to show that humans could solve problems, protect what they created, and improve life for everyone without conflict or argument. She called it the Resource Lift Program. The idea was to use the couch's drone system to move essential supplies around the colony efficiently. This included water containers, food packs, construction materials, and other heavy items that normally required multiple workers or bulky machinery. She sent a polite invitation to Vera and the other neighbors. It was an open invitation to participate and observe, emphasizing learning and collaboration. Mira knew that engaging the community directly would not only demonstrate the practical value of her invention, but also highlight the unique creativity humans brought to challenging situations. The morning of the demonstration arrived, and Mira arranged the supplies in neat piles on her porch. The couch hovered patiently, its soft lights glowing as if aware of the day's importance. Vera arrived first, her usual determined expression replaced by curiosity. She was followed shortly by other neighbors, some eager, some skeptical. Mira welcomed everyone warmly. Today, she began, we will see how technology can make life easier. The couch is more than a piece of furniture. It is a tool that demonstrates human problem-solving and creativity. We will lift supplies, sort materials, and even transport items to different parts of the colony. The neighbors watched in awe as Mira activated the couch drones. Containers floated gently above the porch, guided by holographic markers. The drones adjusted automatically to weight changes, distributing energy efficiently and ensuring stability. Mira explained each step clearly, showing how humans used engineering, programming, and observation to solve complex problems. Vera stepped forward cautiously. "May I try?" she asked, her voice quieter than usual. "Of course," Mira replied. "The couch can guide you. Just follow the instructions on the holographic display." Vera placed her hands near the control panel, and the couch responded immediately, gently lifting a small crate as she guided it across the porch. She gasped as the drones maintained perfect balance, adjusting to even her slight tremors in control. "This is incredible," she said. "I never imagined something like this could exist." Mira smiled. "Humans innovate because we face challenges. Every system here was designed to solve a problem. We can lift, transport, and organize materials efficiently while also conserving energy and reducing risk. That is why technology matters not just for comfort, but for life." Throughout the day, Mira guided the neighbors through various tasks. They learned to move supplies across uneven terrain, stack containers precisely, and even lift parts of construction frames for new buildings in the colony. The couch's drones adapted to each situation, demonstrating flexibility, efficiency, and intelligence. The neighbors were amazed. They began to see technology not as a personal luxury, but as a symbol of what humans could achieve. Vera, in particular, seemed transformed. She no longer focused on claiming the couch for herself. Instead, she asked questions about the drone coordination system, the anti-gravity stabilizers, and the energy distribution network. Mira explained each component in simple terms, showing how each innovation solved a practical problem. Vera listened carefully, realizing that human ingenuity was more than just ownership. It was understanding, creating, and improving solutions by midday. The Resource Lift program had become a collaborative effort. Mira guided the group as they transported supplies across the colony, organized construction materials, and even experimented with new ways to use the couch drones for minor repairs. The neighbors began sharing ideas of their own, suggesting improvements and new applications. Mira encouraged their creativity, explaining that humans thrived by combining knowledge, observation, and imagination. As the sun reached its peak, Mira demonstrated a particularly impressive feature. The couch drones coordinated to lift a heavy water container and move it across the colony square to a new storage area. The operation was precise, safe, and efficient. The neighbors cheered, realizing that what they had seen was not just a demonstration, but a vision of what the colony could achieve when humans worked together with technology. Vera stepped forward once again, her eyes shining. "Mira, I understand now. This is not just about a couch. It is about human creativity, problem-solving, and cooperation. I want to learn more. I want to help use technology for the colony, not just for myself." Mira nodded. "That is exactly the point. Humans innovate to solve problems, improve life, and inspire others. Technology is a tool, but understanding, applying, and sharing it responsibly is what makes humans unique." The neighbors continued participating throughout the afternoon. They experimented with lifting heavier materials, creating small temporary structures, and even sorting supplies for upcoming construction projects. Mira guided them patiently, explaining not just the mechanics, but the reasoning behind each innovation. The colony's community began to feel stronger, more connected, and more capable. By the evening, Mira realized that the day had been a success. The neighbors had witnessed human ingenuity firsthand. Vera had transformed from a curious, determined individual into a collaborative learner. Other neighbors had gained confidence in using technology and understanding its potential. Mira's couch, once a private tool, had become a symbol of human problem-solving and resilience. Mira reflected on the significance of the day. Humans had not simply survived on Solara. They had adapted, thrived, and inspired others. Technology was an extension of human creativity, but its value came from how it was used to solve problems and improve life for everyone. The floating couch represented this idea perfectly, a combination of comfort, intelligence, and practical problem-solving. Later, Mira adjusted the couch drones to return to standby mode. The soft glow of the floating couch filled the room, reflecting the fading sunlight. She sat down, feeling a sense of accomplishment. The conflict with Vera had not been resolved through argument or force. Instead, it had been transformed into a learning opportunity, demonstration of human capability and ingenuity. That night, Mira prepared a small report for the Colony Council. She documented the Resource Lift program, explaining how technology could improve efficiency, reduce risk, and inspire cooperation. She included observations about how community engagement and education were essential to maximizing the benefits of innovation. Mira hoped that her work would encourage more colonists to think creatively, share knowledge responsibly, and respect the achievements of others. Vera stopped by one last time before nightfall. "Mira," she said softly, "thank you for today. I see now that humans can solve problems in ways I never imagined. I want to learn more about creating solutions like this. Maybe together, we can help the colony even more." Mira smiled. "Absolutely. Humans grow stronger when we share knowledge, work together, and use our creativity wisely. Today was just the beginning." As Mira watched Vera leave, she realized that the floating couch had become more than just a marvel of technology. It was a catalyst for understanding, cooperation, and inspiration. The colony was learning that human ingenuity could turn challenges into opportunities, conflicts into lessons, and curiosity into collaboration. Mira settled into the couch. Allowing herself a moment of quiet reflection, the twin suns dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow across the colony. She thought about the future, new projects, new technologies, and new opportunities for humans to thrive. Every challenge could become a chance to demonstrate intelligence, patience, and creativity. The couch floated steadily beneath her, a soft hum filling the room. It was more than furniture. It was a symbol of human potential, a testament to what humans could achieve when they combined ingenuity, cooperation, and determination, and Mira knew that. With this mindset, the colony of Solara could face any challenge. Humans were not just survivors. They were creators, innovators, and problem solvers. The floating couch was proof that even small inventions could inspire big change. And Mira was determined to continue showing her community the power of human ingenuity. The next morning on Solara, Mira woke to the soft hum of her floating couch and the gentle glow of the twin suns. The Resource Lift program had become a success, but Mira knew that curiosity and challenges never truly rested in a growing colony. She looked out over the settlement and noticed a small group of newcomers arriving at the central plaza. They were young engineers and technicians from another sector of the colony, sent to observe and learn from human innovation firsthand. Mira felt a sense of purpose. Humans had always thrived by teaching, learning, and sharing knowledge. And she realized that her couch could now be more than a personal marvel or a demonstration tool. It could become a symbol of what humans were capable of: ingenuity, creativity, and collaboration. She quickly prepared the couch for another demonstration. Today, it would not only lift supplies, but also assist in practical tasks that improved daily life in the colony. Mira set up a small obstacle course for the floating containers. Simulating real situations, transporting water from the wells to storage areas, lifting construction materials to unfinished rooftops, and organizing supplies for upcoming projects. She wanted to show the newcomers that humans solved problems efficiently and intelligently. Vera arrived early. Carrying a small data tablet, "Mira," she said, smiling, "I want to help today. Maybe together we can show them how technology can make life better for everyone." Mira nodded. "Absolutely. Humans improve when we work together and share knowledge. Today will be about collaboration, innovation, and practical problem solving." The newcomers gathered around, curious and eager. Mira began the demonstration. She activated the couch drones, and they lifted a heavy water container, transporting it smoothly across the plaza. The drones adjusted to uneven surfaces automatically, keeping the load steady and preventing spills. Holographic markers appeared in the air, showing optimal paths for each movement. The newcomers were amazed. They had seen mechanical systems before, but none had demonstrated such efficiency, precision, and adaptability. Mira explained each function in simple terms, showing how humans combined engineering, observation, and creativity to solve real-world problems. Vera guided some of the newcomers as they experimented with lifting smaller supplies. She noticed the difference in their reactions compared to a few weeks ago. Instead of being overwhelmed, they asked intelligent questions, suggested improvements, and tested their own ideas. Myra smiled. This was exactly what she had hoped for. Humans thrived not just by inventing, but by inspiring others to create solutions. 2. Mid-morning. Mira introduced a new challenge. A mock construction frame needed to be moved from one side of the plaza to the other. The frame was heavy, awkwardly shaped, and unstable. Mira explained that humans often faced tasks that required careful planning, innovation, and teamwork. The couch drones could assist, but only if guided intelligently. Vera and the newcomers worked together under Mira's guidance. They positioned the couch beneath the frame, and the drones lifted it steadily. Adjustments were made in real time as the drones distributed weight and maintained balance. One newcomer suggested a slight change to the path, avoiding a bumpy section of the plaza. The drones responded flawlessly. When the frame reached its destination, everyone cheered. Mira felt a deep sense of satisfaction. Humans did not rely solely on raw strength or force. They used intelligence, collaboration, and technology to solve problems efficiently and safely. This was the essence of humanity, and today she had shown it in action. Vera approached Mira afterward. "I never realized how much humans can do when we combine creativity with teamwork," she said. "It is not just about invention. It is about problem solving, observation, and patience." Mira nodded. "Exactly. Technology is a tool, but understanding and applying it wisely is what makes humans unique. Every challenge we face can become an opportunity to improve, innovate, and inspire others." In the afternoon, Mira decided to take the demonstration a step further. She set up a scenario that combined multiple tasks: lifting supplies, assisting with construction, and transporting water. The goal was to show how humans could integrate technology and ingenuity to solve complex problems efficiently. The couch drones adjusted automatically to each new task. While Vera and the newcomers coordinated their actions, containers floated across the plaza, frames were lifted and positioned with precision, and water was delivered to storage areas without a single drop wasted. Mira explained the reasoning behind every adjustment, showing how humans anticipated challenges, monitored outcomes, and adapted their solutions in real time. The newcomers were thrilled. They began to propose their own modifications, suggesting ways to improve the drone's efficiency, reduce energy use, and even expand the couch's functions to assist in other parts of the colony. Myra encouraged their creativity, emphasizing that humans thrived not just by using tools, but by imagining new possibilities and applying knowledge wisely. As the sun dipped toward the horizon, Myra reflected on the day. She realized that her floating couch had become more than a personal invention or even a demonstration tool. It had become a symbol of human ingenuity, resilience, and cooperation. Through practical application, Myra had shown that humans could transform challenges into opportunities. conflicts into learning experiences, and curiosity into collaboration. Vera approached Mira one last time before leaving. I see now that humans are capable of so much more than I imagined. This is not just a couch or a tool. It is a lesson in problem-solving, creativity, and teamwork. Thank you for showing us the true value of innovation. Mira smiled. That is the essence of being human. We create, we adapt, and we share knowledge responsibly. Every invention, every idea, every problem we solve contributes to the colony's success. That is what makes humanity remarkable. That night, Mira prepared a summary for the Colony Council. She documented the day's activities, the practical applications of the couch drones, and the lessons learned about human ingenuity, collaboration, and creative problem-solving. She emphasized that technology was not just about personal gain, but about inspiring others, solving challenges, and improving life for everyone in the colony. As Mira settled into the floating couch, she felt a sense of quiet pride. Humans had proven once again that they could thrive through intelligence, creativity, and cooperation. Conflicts could be transformed into lessons. Curiosity could become innovation. Challenges could become opportunities. The twin suns set behind the horizon, casting long shadows across the plaza. Mira looked out at the settlement, imagining the future. She saw humans exploring new technologies, improving daily life, and teaching others to solve problems creatively. She realized that the true power of humanity lay not in force or dominance, but in ingenuity, patience, and collaboration. Her floating couch hummed softly beneath her. A symbol of the day's achievements and a reminder of what humans could accomplish, Mira closed her eyes, feeling calm and determined. The colony of Solara had learned an important lesson. Human ingenuity could turn even the simplest invention into a tool for growth, cooperation, and inspiration, and Mira knew that this was only the beginning. The floating couch had proven its value, but the real proof of humanity's worth would come in the challenges yet to come, the problems yet to be solved, and the innovations yet to be imagined. Humans would continue to thrive, adapt, and inspire, showing that their greatest strength lay not in what they owned, but in what they could create and share. The morning on Solara was crisp and calm, with the twin suns casting a soft glow across the settlement. Mira sat on her levitating couch, watching the light dance across the plaza. The previous weeks had been filled with demonstrations, lessons, and collaboration. The Resource Lift program had proven successful, and the community had begun to embrace the power of human ingenuity and teamwork. Today, Mira planned something special, a demonstration that would show the colony how humans could not only survive, but thrive through creativity, cooperation, and shared knowledge. Vera arrived early, carrying her data tablet. "Good morning, Mira," she said with a warm smile. "I have prepared some ideas for the demonstration. I think the others will find them useful." Mira nodded. "Excellent. Today will be about applying what we have learned. We will combine technology, problem-solving, and teamwork to solve a set of real-world challenges." The neighbors gathered as Mira outlined the tasks. There were several stations set up across the plaza, transporting water containers from wells to storage areas, lifting construction frames to rooftops, sorting and organizing supplies for upcoming projects, and using the couch drones to move delicate items safely. Mira explained each challenge carefully, emphasizing that humans thrived by observing, adapting, and applying knowledge intelligently. Vera stepped forward, her enthusiasm clear. "Let's show everyone what humans can do when we work together," she said. The demonstration began. Mira activated the couch drones, and they floated smoothly above the plaza, lifting containers, frames, and other materials with precision. Holographic markers displayed paths for each task, and the drones adjusted automatically to weight changes, surface variations, and obstacles. The neighbors followed Mira's instructions carefully, working as a team. The first task was moving water containers from the well to the storage area. The drones lifted the containers with ease, adjusting to balance each one perfectly. Mira explained how humans used observation and creativity to design systems that conserved energy, reduced risk, and improved efficiency. The neighbors were impressed, seeing that technology could amplify human capability rather than replace it. Next, construction frames needed to be transported to rooftops. This was a more complex challenge, requiring careful coordination. Mira guided the drones while Vera and the neighbors positioned themselves to assist. The frames hovered steadily, guided by the holographic markers, and were placed on rooftops with precision. Mira emphasized that humans faced similar challenges. In building the colony, an innovation allowed them to solve problems safely and efficiently. As the demonstration continued, Mira introduced a delicate task: transporting fragile supplies across a bumpy section of the plaza. The drones adjusted in real time, stabilizing the items while maintaining balance. Mira explained that humans design technology not only for strength, but also for intelligence, flexibility, and adaptability. The neighbors watched in awe as the floating supplies moved flawlessly, understanding that human ingenuity was not just about invention, but about problem-solving in complex situations. Vera stepped forward with a suggestion. What if we integrate a small communication network between the drones and the workstations? That way, tasks can be coordinated more efficiently, and everyone can see progress in real time. Mira smiled. Excellent idea. Humans thrive when we share knowledge and improve systems together. Let's implement it. The addition of the communication network enhanced the demonstration. Tasks were completed more efficiently, and the neighbors saw firsthand how collaboration and creativity could improve outcomes. They began suggesting further improvements, brainstorming ways to optimize energy use, increase safety, expand the drone's capabilities for future colony projects. By midday, the demonstration had become more than just a showcase of the couch's technology. It had become a learning experience for everyone. Myra explained that the success of any colony depended on how humans approached challenges with intelligence, cooperation, creativity, and respect for the tools and knowledge at their disposal. The floating couch had started as a personal invention, but it had grown into a symbol of human problem-solving, collaboration, and innovation. Vera turned to Myra, her eyes shining. I understand now. Humans are capable of so much more than I imagined. This is not just about technology. It is about working together, thinking creatively, and solving problems efficiently. I want to help the colony continue improving, Mira nodded. Exactly. Humans thrive not by hoarding knowledge or possessions, but by observing, learning, sharing, and applying what we know wisely. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to grow, improve, and inspire others. In the afternoon, Mira and the neighbors tackled a final combined task. They used the couch drones to lift supplies to a new storage area, repair minor structural damage, and transport water across uneven terrain. The drones adjusted to every situation, and the neighbors coordinated their actions seamlessly. Mira guided them, explaining the reasoning behind every decision, emphasizing that humans used observation, adaptation, and creativity to solve problems efficiently. By the time the twin suns began to set, the entire plaza was organized, supplies were in place, and minor repairs had been completed. The neighbors looked around in satisfaction. They had witnessed the power of human ingenuity firsthand, not just in the technology, but in how humans could apply knowledge, collaborate, and solve complex problems. Vera approached Mira one last time before leaving. Thank you for showing us what humans can achieve.
I see now.
That innovation is not just about tools, but about understanding, creativity, and teamwork. I want to continue learning and helping the colony. Myra smiled. That is the essence of humanity. We create, we adapt, and we work together to solve challenges. Technology is a tool, but its true value comes from how we use it to improve life for everyone. That evening, Mira prepared a summary for the Colony Council. She documented the demonstration, the collaborative problem-solving, and the lessons learned about human ingenuity, cooperation, and innovation. She highlighted how the floating couch, once a personal invention, had inspired the entire community to think creatively, work together, and apply knowledge responsibly. Mira then sat on her levitating couch, letting it adjust to her posture. She reflected on the journey of the past weeks. What had started as a personal project had grown into a symbol of humanity's potential. Humans had proven that intelligence, creativity, patience, and cooperation could overcome challenges, transform curiosity into learning, and turn conflict into opportunity. The colony of Solara was thriving, not just because of technology, but because humans had learned to use it wisely. Mira realized that the true power of humanity was not in what they owned, but in what they could create, share, and inspire. As the twin suns disappeared below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the settlement, Myra felt a sense of quiet fulfillment. The floating couch hummed softly beneath her, reminder of the human spirit, resilient, intelligent, and endlessly creative. Humans had come to Solara to survive. They had adapted, built, and grown. Now they were thriving. They were creators, problem solvers, and innovators. As long as they combined knowledge, cooperation, and imagination, there was no challenge they could not face. The floating couch, once a simple piece of furniture, had become a symbol of everything that made humanity remarkable. Mira knew that this was just the beginning. The colony would continue to grow, new technologies would be developed, and humans would continue to inspire each other through ingenuity and collaboration. And Mira, resting on her floating couch, understood that humans would always rise to challenges, turning obstacles into opportunities, and showing the universe the true strength of their creativity, intelligence, and heart.